There is no election anywhere that is more important and means more to people in this country than the election in Georgia and electing Stacey Abrams.
You see, the governor's race is neck and neck. You've got Stacey Abrams, who could become the first black female governor ever, and you've got Republican, right? And you've got Republican Brian Kemp, who would become the first white governor named Brian Kemp in Georgia.
I'm here for one simple reason. I'm here to ask you to vote.
We put America on notice that change is not coming to Georgia. It has arrived, and you made it so.
Every election comes, you almost hear, oh, this is the most important one in history, you know? And I think with this one, though, because you had a female, for one, an African-American female, there was so much that we stood to gain, you know? And I think that's why it was such an important race, because it involved everybody. When she came to Baldwin, you had young, old, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, I mean, everybody. And it goes beyond even political lines, because making sure that every vote is counted doesn't just affect Democrats. It affects Democrats, liberals, Republicans, you know, because her platform was to benefit everybody. And I think that's why it was so important. It was such a historical event for us.
What Stacey Abrams is doing is incredibly important. You know, they estimate that maybe as many as 11, 12 million Democratic voters didn't vote on election day in 2016. That's who lost the election. Stacey Abrams is saying, well, if that's the case, then we're going to go out and register everybody. And I think that's one of the reasons that the Republican Party is so frightened of her. That is a variable that they cannot define.
When you're out working on the campaign, you hear a lot of the comments that people say, well, you know, why would I go vote? It doesn't matter anyway. They're going to do what they want to. You know, you always felt that your voice wasn't going to matter, or that your vote wouldn't be counted. You know, she heard you, and she's doing something about it.
Us to create the state that we are destined to be, we've got to do some work this year. We've got 22 days to make a decision. 22 days to set the direction of our state. And we can go backwards. We can go back to a time when only some folks were protected and some folks have opportunity. We can go backwards to the time when the right to vote was an option for those in charge. Because I've got an opponent who has 53,000 people on a pending list. Well, justice can't keep pending in the state of Georgia.
You know, we would hear stories of people going to the polls and being turned away for this reason or that reason. Or, you know, I have my voter registration card, but you're still telling me, well, I can't vote in this precinct because I moved 6 months ago. And I think a lot of it, people didn't even realize was voter suppression.
If everybody votes, they lose. It's that simple. That's why they are challenging every single registration, every absentee ballot. I would register as many people as I possibly could, and I would have an army of lawyers ready to sue the state of Georgia, because they're going to have to. They're going to fight them every step of the way. It's a blood sport.
Rejected due to human error and a system of suppression that had already proven its bias. The remedy, they were told, was simply to show up. Only they, like thousands of others, found polling places shut down, understaffed, ill-equipped, or simply unable to serve its basic function for lack of a power cord.
There's no trust there. You know, your vote should be sacred, but there's no trust in the government to protect that. You know, you have that right, but there's nothing to protect your actual action of it. So I think the suppression started even before the campaign got off the ground. It's just that so much started occurring during the campaign.
Look where Brian Kemp has closed the voting precincts. Rural Georgia, places where people are black or poor and who have less access than anybody else in the state, but an absolutely integral constituency that Abrams has to have come out.
Members of the Stacey Abrams gubernatorial campaign have now shifted their focus to a new organization called Fair Fight Action. Today, that nonprofit group filed a lawsuit on behalf of Georgia's voters to improve the election process.
The lawsuit claims Georgia has created unnecessary hurdles for low-income voters and voters of color.
I think a lot of it is bringing awareness to it because a lot of people didn't even understand you are being suppressed. Your rights are trying to be taken away from you. And so now they know, okay, there's something I can do about this. I can make a call. There's somewhere I can go, some people I can go to.
Democracy is slow and it's messy, and change happens in increments. And what she is doing is kicking the can down the road and pushing us forward as a state, and that has national implications.
I think we're going to see a lot more of her. I think she's going to still be crisscrossing the state until we get to the point that every vote is counted, everybody is allowed to vote, and we know that our voice has some outcome. I think we're going to still see a lot of her.
Fair fight Georgia, because these votes are our voices, and we are entitled to our choices, each of us, and we will win because we are Georgia. And I promise you, we will get it done. Thank you.